Well, the Pioneers Museum in Colorado Springs has relied on tax dollars for decades to keep operating. But with those public dollars now dwindling, the option of privatizing the museum is being discussed. John Hazlehurst with the Colorado Springs Business Journal is here. He's been looking into this story, and he's here to share some information with us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Privatization for a museum, that's kind of rare, isn't it, in the museum world?
Well, it's certainly rare for a history museum, a municipal history museum. I think it's only been done 3 times in the last 25 years, and in each case it was like a multi-year project.
Huh. So the museum has been funded through the end of the year, so it's pretty much safe. After that, there's no guarantee as far as what the city is going to be able to do. So what's being discussed to keep it?
Well, right now we're looking at a situation where the city puts up $365,000, and the private sector, Friends of the Pioneers Museum, has been raising about $300,000 a year in private funds. Well, that's really only enough for bare bones operation. It'll take about $1.2 million annually for the museum to run effectively. And so there are plans afoot. They are hiring a consulting firm. They are going to figure out what the best model is to transit to private ownership, but they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
Yeah. Because
the museum may not have any funding after December 31st from the city.
That is so sad. It's always, we always think of it being there as a resource for us, as a glimpse into our past and where we came from. So this really is sad. What else needs to be done for it to be fully self-supporting other than just, the funds? I mean, I know it relies on volunteers, and then right now it's free to get in.
It is. Well, I think that there are a number of things being considered, perhaps charging for traveling exhibitions. But basically, you're just looking at building a network of donors, of people who are both enthusiastic about the museum and have the capacity to make substantial annual gifts. And that's not impossible.
Right.
The Fine Arts Center does it, but the Fine Arts Center has been working on that model for 75 years. So it takes, as any nonprofit exec will tell you, it just takes a lot of time, a lot of years, and a lot of work. And the Pioneers Museum, on the other hand, already has a very large built-in support group, so I think it's somewhat hopeful.
And what about the building itself, the collections? Will they be safe in any kind of change that takes place?
Well, one would hope so. If they have to sort of shut up the building and put the collections in storage, that is not good. Those collections require careful handling. You can't just sort of put them in a warehouse. And not only that, you're breaking faith with the donors. 10,000 different people over 116 years who have given objects to the museum for care and safekeeping, many of which are extremely valuable. So you're really caught in a whole bunch of dilemmas, not just one. And so it is crucially important, as the director of the museum says, we can't afford to lose the museum. It's just too important to this community.
Well, your story is in the current issue of the Colorado Springs Business Journal. I know you'll be following it, and so will we. Thanks.
Thanks. Let's get moving.